we're going North Node, baby. You know what I mean? Think Die Hard McLean when you think of Western North Node and South Node transits. They don't really want to deal with South Node like that. Many teachers say South Node is the whole. It's where things go and disappear. It's where you lose everything. You need to discard, not necessarily lose. You understand what I'm saying? But if you're all head, pause. The North Node being in the sign of Aries, the sign of entrepreneurship, suggests you should go all the way on entrepreneurship. You should focus on you. You should focus on you. What happens with Aries energy, right, is that Aries energy will show up how they're supposed to show up for the relationship, for the partnership, instead of showing up as them for them as a whole. So what happens here is Aries consistently shows up as a half for the partner, thinking about the partner, when they should show up as a whole, thinking about themselves. Yes, selfish. But it's a selfish sign. It's supposed to be that way. But because the opposite, right? There's always a link to opposites. If you run a pipe underground of oil, right? It's connected. So you don't sever it. It's always going to be there. But you got to know the mechanics. You got to know the law so that you show up optimally. And this is what I had to discover. It's not fucked up to be selfish, especially during the transit. It's going to teach you that about Aries energy in general. That is law for Aries energy. And not only that, that is law for relationships. A lot of people are out here in relationships, situationships, all kinds of ships and shit. Bars. But they're not understanding that this whole compromise, it's cool to cooperate and all of that, but compromise is a very tricky word. When you show up as a whole individual, you have enough to give. You have enough to be generous to the other party, to the other person that you're in a partnership with. But when you're not a full individual, you are missing a piece of your own pie. It's a setup for disaster for your relationship. And maybe not that dramatic, but it's a setup for failure of that relationship, or rifts, disharmony in that relationship. And it could be the other person that doesn't get it and understand it. Like, yo, I need you to be there for me to do this, that, and the third. No, you need to be there for yourself to do this, that, and the third. What? You are my partner. Duh. I'm not going to fill your hole, or I'm not going to fill your void. You are you. You want me to get your natal chart and tell you who you are? I'll tell you right now. I'm getting dramatic now, right? But I'm serious. I had to learn these things. And with Libra being in the South Node, you have these conversations with the other party. It's more of a spiritual thing. It's more of a venting thing. It's more of a trying to communicate to them so that they understand where you're coming from, because you're going to face the disharmony. A lot of tough relationship things that happened in the past 18 months for me. And I had to come to terms with it. I had to come to grips with it. And I had to understand these laws.